So it's time for us to go run some errands. Heidi needed some laundry detergent. We had to pick up a prescription. We had to go to UPS. And again, where we're at here in Vero Beach, we did it all on our bikes.
It's a little warm out though.
It is warm. It is definitely warm. That's why we're in the shade here eating.
There's a little breeze.
Well, it's November. What'd you expect?
I need more of a breeze.
Yeah.
I'm melting actually.
So yeah, we got to go over to CVS is right over there and pick up her prescription. But yeah, it's only a couple miles and easy ride.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We want to thank RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video.
Well, just not another pretty face. That's what I'm talking about, this mattress. Not my lovely wife here. The mattress cover that we have on here is a pretty face to the mattress. But it wasn't really needed for us. We just wanted to protect our mattress. And it's because it's been so great for so long. This is the Brooklyn Bedding RV mattress. And in our case, which they have a bunch of them. Trust me, there's so many different options. But this is the Dream Foam Hybrid. The nice thing about having this cover is if you have one of the other options that makes it to where in the summer you might be slightly warmer than you want to be, you could get one of these covers and it's a cooling cover. Now in our case, our bed, because of its build, the way it was set up, it adjusted accordingly. I mean, we've been in everything from boondocking in Alabama with limited air conditioning to where the mattress felt fine. We weren't sweating or anything like that. And even in the evenings, whenever it got cooler up north when we were in Ohio, it didn't feel so cold that we thought we'd had to break out some extra blankets. It really works. And we have just standard bedding. It's not like we have anything special with the sheets or anything like that. The company is something that I think a lot of you have been turned on to. It's kind of a movement at this point. We're seeing a lot of traction, a lot of people getting into this mattress because it works. And you don't have to be an RV owner to enjoy this. Anybody can. These are custom-made mattresses. They have a 120-night trial. That's a third of the year you get to try it out. But more importantly, free shipping. Coming from Arizona, it's made in Arizona. This is made in the USA, 100%. And the fact that they ship it for free, you can try it out. There is no loss to this whatsoever on your end. Just call them up. Definitely look into it. And the discount code that we have for this
It's Daydream. Just click on the link and enter the code Daydream and you'll get 20% off.
Yeah, like I said, this is a win-win situation. Now back to our video. Howdy YouTube, twist to everything. We just posted a question on our Facebook and Instagram. Did you post it on all of them?
Yeah, YouTube.
And YouTube.
Community.
So should we stay or should we go? And that's because, you know, we're getting a good eye on this whole hurricane thing or potential hurricane. Right now it's nothing to really speak of, a subtropical storm, Nicole. Heidi pretty much summed up what we should do with the fact that, you know, we left last time, even though the hurricane was much stronger, it was coming on the other coast of Florida, and it wasn't really, it kind of came our direction. It got our direction more than what everybody thought. But we left even knowing that. So now this thing's pretty much coming real close to us. I mean, onshore, really close to us. So she says, well, if we evacuated with the other one on the other coast without a clear path necessarily coming here, why wouldn't we do one that is definitely going to be coming on this coast? And the reason that I talk about the coast so much in our case over here is because of where we're located, and I'll show you that on a map. I know we talk about the place, but I don't know if you guys know where it is exactly, but you see where these little dots are, where these little pin drops are. The dark colored one, that's actually where we're at. And if you look here, we are right on a coastal flood watch, and then course, hurricane watch, tropical storm watch is even inland. So this is a coastal flood watch. Now we went to the FEMA map, and the FEMA map says that in the past, flooding, whenever they've had flooding, hasn't happened. Really, there's a traffic light that is basically 1 block from where we're at now. It's just 1 block over. And they said that the flooding usually don't go past that point. Usually. Now here's the thing. Right now as it stands, there's a king tide in effect. It is a full moon, so the tide's very high, so it's a king tide. And when the storm comes ashore here, when the wind starts, it's going to be pushing a surge, of course, of what the elevated high tide ocean's already at. So we may get more flooding than normal here. It was a tough call on our part because we have sort of a situation outside, which I'll show you what that is. And that is, we got extra stuff. You guys, I've already seen the reviews of our bikes. So basically, 2 of these bikes go on the back rack, the cargo rack in the back. Now we had a bicycle carrier that we had done a review on, but this cargo rack back here holds 2 of those bikes, and it does a good job. The problem that we're going to have is we have 2 additional bicycles right now. So what's going to happen is one of those new bikes are going to go on the back, and the folding bike's going to go in here. So I had to duck off the camera there. Neighbor come by to tell us that he don't believe that we should have to go anywhere. But it's just the second time I've had to fix that hose already. Gosh darn it. So I got the trail shield back on, or the shield. It's not such a big deal, except for I have an anti-rattle device on there that I have to tighten back up. So this tote goes in the back of the truck, in the crew cab part of things. And then this grill goes over here. But I do have to put bungee cords on the grill cover. And you may ask, why do you have to put bungee cords on the grill cover? If you haven't seen it in our past videos, whenever we're driving down the road, the negative pressure that is in this area is incredible. The generator cover, which is tight and has a fitted string underneath that is tight, to the point where, like, if I try to roll the generator with the cover on it, it just goes right underneath the wheels, because that elastic, that pull string that's on the bottom, it's snug underneath of it. It's tighter than a pillowcase, that's for sure. Even with that, we've driven down the road and I forgot to put like a bungee cord or something on the generator cover, and it has pulled it off driving down the highway. Like I said, there's a lot of vacuum that gets built up in here. So we're going to obviously empty the tanks. I'll put a little bit of fresh water in here. If you guys just joining on with us, there's a lot of new viewers. This Blue Technologies deal, it is by far the best water system that we have. We were to recycle our softener. We're getting close to time that we need to recycle our softener, but we'll have to wait till we get back. And I'll show you guys what that looks like whenever we get back. It's really easy to do on this one. That was the other downfall of the bigger system that we had prior. Kind of a pain in the butt to get the salt in the neck of the unit for the rejuvenation, but this one's pretty easy. Yeah, we'll be able to get all this stuff going. The worst part about it is I'm in the sun for the mounting of the bikes, so I'm gonna be getting a little bit warm over here. It's very breezy today, though. You can see the flag, because now the wind isn't even as strong, obviously, as it's going to be. It's going to be even stronger tomorrow, but even with the wind that we've had, you can see the flag is already ferruled up against that pole. It's wrapped it around. The wind's gone in different directions quite a few times here. So we're going to get some decent wind here. 50 to 70, so they say. I don't know if that's true or not. And that's what the neighbor was saying. See, the hard part about it is nobody's in the same position as us to give us advice about should we stay or go in this area, because all of them, for the most part, are going to say, oh no, I'll stay. There's a big difference being in a mobile home that is strapped down to the ground by code. You're required to do that. I mean, even their awnings, I know that you can't see it, but all of these side awnings, they have cables that are securing it down to the ground. Kind of like the cables that are crisscrossed on that one over there. Even the sheds, they're all strapped down. And again, it's because you can't have that stuff flying around when the wind starts picking up. Well, being in something like that versus something like this, that the wind can easily get underneath, it's a whole different feeling. Will it tip it over? Nah, I doubt that. I mean, if the wind got really strong, it could, for sure. But I don't think it would tip it over. It'd rock it pretty hard. We would have to put the slides in because, quite honestly, if we have sustained winds of 50 miles an hour for, a day, it'll just tear up these awnings. It'll just keep on beating these toppers for the slides to where it would probably rip them off eventually, especially the big one on the super slide, because that one is out quite a ways. So whenever we ask, hey, what do you guys think? They're all like, oh yeah, I'm sure you could ride it. It'll be okay. You can ride it through, no problem. And yet, they don't know how much it's going to flood here. They don't know how much water is going to come through here. He said, the one gentleman that we friends with in the park here said, oh, we had 5 inches of rain dropped in a matter of no time at all. And he said, and the park handled it just fine. Well, the park does flood, but it does go down relatively quick. Here's the problem with that. Again, what I was mentioning before, just 1 block away, it can flood. FEMA says that the surge from the river could make it up to that point. The surge from the ocean and the river could make it just 1 block away. So now, what about all those sewers that are underwater? Where does the water go from the high, the points that don't flood necessarily? Where do they go? Where does the water go? I mean, is this water that comes out, I know you probably can't see it, but there's a little opening there that you can see daylight through in the wall. That's a drain that's out there, that all the water from the park goes to that drain, or a lot of water from this park goes to that drain, at least the front part of the park. Does that drain then go down 1 block to where it's going to be flooded? So now where's all the water go in the park? I mean, there's just too many questions, and unless you have history of being in a storm in an area, and even then, I mean, I could tell you about how the snow's probably not going to be that bad in Ohio, because it's a snowstorm that is coming from, let's say, Lake Erie, and we don't normally traditionally get a lot of snow from lake effect snow in Lake Erie, coming into where we used to live. However, that is a generalization. We've had bands of snow that have lined up perfectly straight off of Lake Erie that has dumped a foot or 2 of snow immediately in our location. Even though the general rule is that part of the Ohio that we lived in, we didn't get a lot of lake effect snow. And that wasn't where our heaviest snow totals came from. It usually came from storms that generated out of the Gulf and came up through the states that way. So even though they're saying, oh yeah, we've had rain, more rain than this, and we've had more wind than that, every storm's different. Who knows what's going to happen with this one? And quite honestly, I don't want to be stuck here under, where there's water up to our bottom step, and there's no power in the park, and we're just here. We're just stuck here, and there's no reason. Like somebody had mentioned, we are more mobile than most people, so there's no reason why we have to stay. It's not a big deal for us to hook up and leave. I mean, quite honestly, we can go enjoy a different area of Florida. maybe even Mississippi. I don't know if we're going to go that far. I think we might go up towards Pensacola, though. The thing is we can't go too far north, like I mentioned, because like we can't go to Montgomery like we did last time, because it's going to be freezing while we're there. I'd have to winterize the rig. Wouldn't that be funny? All right, I'm going to have to get this going because Heidi's getting all her work done inside and I'm dorking around here. So let me finish out the job. We're almost ready to go. Took us longer than we expected, like always. You know, like this. We were going to put this on the back, on the rack, and then I thought, well, we can secure it in here. It's not going to fall over. So it's up against, you know, it's in this cubby with the handlebar protected. And it can't fall this way because not only is there a bungee cord around this stool, but there's another bungee that goes over to the hook for the strap that holds these stools in place. So it can't lean this way. And as far as it can't slide out, you know, because we have a bungee to keep the steering wheel straight, so it can't bounce and fall out. Once this slides in, I mean this slide, you know, it's all of right up to here, so it could only move if we got in a real bad situation, just a little. And I don't even think it can move at all, to tell you the truth.
I think I'm gonna put this blanket here.
You think? Okay. Just in case.
I don't know.
So yeah, we're gonna put the refrigerator over to propane.
It's already on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not automatic, but propane.
Yeah.
And listen, the reason that we do that, just to let you know, as far as I can tell, if we put it on electric, I'm sorry, if we put it on both, it will run off of the inverter. So I think this refrigerator's on an inverter circuit, which makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. So what happens though is you're not, you know, it runs down your batteries. So
yeah, that's what we had that one time.
well, that's because of, now that was on propane. That was the batteries were so low that from the fans and the cloudy days that we ended up taking it all the 12 volt that was needed from the lithium battery to the point where the lithium battery shut off to protect itself, and the refrigerator didn't have 12 volts to ignite the propane. So all it did was sit over there and beep. Now this here, we leave this blue light on inside the refrigerator, but this little freezer, whatever, cooler, but it's not on. The cooling part, the compressor's not on. And the reason we do that is we can look inside of the RV real quick and see if there's a problem with the inverter or converter. No, inverter, sorry. Said it right the first time. The inverter. So if we think there's a problem that the inverter isn't supplying voltage to all the plugs throughout the RV, like our internet, which is hidden back here. I don't know if you guys can see this. I always show this, but that's our EasyCom. That's our wireless internet. That's our unlimited internet. That's how we do everything. We just stick it in there and we plug it into an inverter plug so that we can have internet if our T-Mobile, for whatever reason, doesn't work wherever we may be traveling. The AT&T from that may work, and we can connect to it from the truck just fine and have internet. But anyways, if we think that we're having a problem with our converter on some level, we just can open our door and look in, and if that blue light's on, we know that it's good. We know that it's still okay. And that light is an LED light. It's barely anything. So we've got some extra stuff here that we don't normally, because we were thinking this might go up in the bedroom. So we collapsed our shoe drawer, tote, folding tote, or whatever this is here. We've had for a long time. That usually goes at the foot of the bed in our bedroom. And then when we close up everything and slide everything in, it moves out of the way. But anyways, we don't know where we're going. It's later than we expected. I'm not driving 4 hours and then trying to find a place, so I don't know where we're going to go. I know I want to get away.
Just want to cut over.
Yeah, the last time we did something a little bit different. Last time when the hurricane was coming in, it was coming in over on, the Tampa Bay, Fort Myers side. So the last thing we wanted to do is get caught up in any traffic that was leaving that area up 75 and out of Florida. So we stayed on 95 on this side as long as we could until we got to the 295 to 10 bypass, the 295 that goes around Jacksonville. And then we got on 10 and we went across the top of Florida. This time it's kind of the opposite. The wind is kicked up today, even though it's not bad, it is kicked up. And it's a northeast wind for the most part, so I would be driving into it. So what we're wanting to do is kind of get away from this coast and get across Florida and then up 75. But the problem with that is you run into heavy traffic and congestion that
Especially this time.
you don't normally. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be horrendous. Of course, you stay away from I-4. Don't travel I-4. I-4 is meant for locals that want to drive like idiots, like another level you've never seen. Cut you off, whatever. All they're doing is trying to utilize an interchange, a road, a highway, an interstate that is not really set up to handle the kind of traffic that is rush hour, and everybody that is traveling it is making a commute back and forth to work. And if you get on it at 5 o'clock, expect accidents, people cutting you off. I'm talking accidents. I'm not talking like, oops, they accidentally rear-ended each other. I'm talking cars flipped over and stuff. And it's just a nightmare. And you'll be stuck in traffic for, everybody will be doing 80, 85 miles an hour. And then next thing you know, everybody's just stopped. And then we start crawling a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. And next thing you know, you're doing 80 miles an hour again. I used to travel that whenever I transferred shops and was working out of Tampa. I used to travel 75 past that I-4 interchange. And it was just a night. Again, it's all the roads that we've ever traveled. You stay away from Chicago and you stay away from I-4. Those two places, absolutely, you don't want to be around, especially during rush hour. Yeah. All right. We're going to get humping here. I don't know, like I said, I don't know where we're stopping. I don't know where we're going. I mean, I don't have any gasoline in the generator. The truck, I think, even needs gas.
Filled up the other day.
Before we drove all the way to Cocoa and back?
That's right.
Yeah, so I think the truck may need gasoline too. Well, it's another little task at hand. But let us off here. We'll pick it up a little later.
So we're here getting ready. It's 3:30. And like Michael said earlier, it's kind of late for us to be leaving. But what happens when the weather changes so often. Those people are getting out of here too. Maybe they're landing, I don't know. But we'll be back here in a couple days. It is a beautiful day. It is a little bit windy, but stuck down there or something. Ah, there he comes. Hear the wind. It's, like I said, it's pretty windy. So we'll pick it up here in a little bit.
Oh, it's so delightful. The weather's nice and cool out. There's a breeze. Definitely wind's blowing around. I don't know. You guys think we did the right thing? I mean, it's not a difficult difficult thing for us to do. I mean, there's a little bit of time, involved, but we've got time.
Yeah, we have some extra stuff that if we didn't have it would have been a little easier.
Yeah, the extra bikes that we have, and there's some other things we have. We did our reviews, but we've got there's a follow-up that needs to be done on some level, or it could be that the manufacturer might contact us and say, hey, listen, we want you to talk about this, or can you cover this?
That looks like rain over there.
It does look like rain. Here, Heidi, I'll turn you around. You guys can see what we're looking at. It's kind of like hazy.
Yeah.
But it's really very, whoops, left of center.
This road's a little bumpy.
Left of center. But it's really pleasant. I mean, the breeze is really making a difference. Now, of course, the closer we get to the middle of Florida, that breeze is, not quite there. Yeah. If this car wants to get around me, he's going to have to get in the right lane and pass me, because
The lane's closed up here, so you better
one thing I learned about pulling an RV, and you guys think, oh, hey, this guy wants to get over, he wants, he's trying to get around me. I'll wait till he gets around me, then I'll get over, even though I see the lanes closing. Forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Just go ahead and get over. If you got to get over in front of them, and then they need to go around you still, they can pass on the right, because I have gotten burned so many times by trying to be courteous to a driver that's way far back, and then they lollygag, and sometimes they get alongside of you and just hang out next to you. They don't necessarily want to pass you entirely. So basically what I'm talking about is the right lane in this case was going away, and it told me to get over in the left lane. And there was a car that was approaching. I was in the right lane, it was in the left lane, and it was behind me quite a ways, but it was catching up. Don't try to even wait for them to get over, because, like I said, a lot of those guys, at times, they lollygag.
Looks like they're gonna build some stuff out here.
It's a nice access road. I mean,
yeah.
It's easy to get to from 95. It's easy to get to the Florida Turnpike.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see them doing it. But anyway, the sun's starting to go down, and we got a lot of driving we still need to do, and I don't know how much of that is actually going to happen, because I am awful tired. I took an allergy pill this morning.
Got sinuses
and then I took a cold and flu sinus pill this morning, and I'm just kind of congested, a little bit tired. Stomp back on here. We'll jump back on the camera if anything happens, and if not, we'll pick it up later. Sun's starting to go down. We're catching the very, very little end of it. We haven't been driving hardly at all. We stopped at a Pilot. I filled up there because we get discounted gas, obviously, there. And we're going up to some place out in the middle of nowhere for the night, just to stay the night. It's called Jimmy's Truck Stop, or Jimmy's Marathon, or Sit-Go Truck Stop. I don't know what it is. But it's out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's just nothing, and then this truck stop's there. The traffic on this road's pretty light, but people like to speed because it's out, again, in the middle of the nowhere. And we decided we're not driving very far. We don't care if we see some rain. We don't care if there's some storms coming in. We just didn't want flooding and high winds and all that stuff. So, with that said, we're just heading over to Lazy Days in Tampa, and we're going to get a spot there. We like the area. I think we're gonna stay there for probably about 4 days. Is that what that is? Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, and are we leaving on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're there for 3 days. So that'll be nice. We can
We're there for 4 days if we're leaving Saturday. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is 4 days. Oh, good. Another day to do something. But yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's the price of a really nice hotel room. I I guess you could look
Yeah.
at it that way. So we're gonna go over there and hang out, and maybe we'll catch an Uber and go somewhere. Wonder where that might be.
I wonder.
All right. I just want to let you know what we're doing. We'll show you where we stop for the night. It's really nice out here. This is a part of Florida that people don't think about when you get away from the beach. I mean, there's farmland. Florida has a lot of farmland, and it's
Beef cattle.
it's flat, and it reminds me of when we were out west. You know, being able to see for quite a ways away.
It's dark fast, darn it. We don't go out in the evening very often.
Yeah.
It was nice and bright an hour ago.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah, we're definitely in farm country, and where we're stopping for the night is farm country too. We'll show you. Can you believe it? Out in the middle of nowhere. Got a guy over there. He's got some sort of generator running on his tractor trailer. I think they call it a power unit or something. And then this guy backed in and immediately went to sleep. So this is our setup here. And I'll tell you what, for truck stop food, it wasn't bad. I had a 12-inch pressed Cuban sandwich in there that, you know, it's not a true Cuban, but it was good. It was, you know, it was good for a simulation. Heidi had catfish. She didn't like the catfish at all. She says, it tastes like dirt. Well, I ate it, and I told her, I said, hell, it tastes just like catfish. It was good. So I ate a bunch of her catfish. But they have a lot of food in there. They got, you know, truck stop food, but they've got a lot of French fries, fried food, gator bites, chicken gizzards, fried chicken livers. They have meals. They have combos. They have mac and cheese. Anyways, it was pretty good food. I was surprised. And we're out in the middle of nowhere. There's really nothing out here. We are not running our generator because it's nice and relatively cool tonight. See the big full moon out. Another reason we left. I'll have to say, if anything's a downfall here, I don't know if you're going to see this on camera, but look. These are all mosquitoes. All of these. Yeah, they are all over this thing. So hopefully they don't make their way in. It was, I swatted a few when we first got here, and I was dorking around with the truck, trying to get the level just right. I was like, holy cow, it feels like there's mosquitoes around me, and yeah, they're everywhere. But it's because the RV's hot, warm, from travel, and yeah, it's cooling off. Even got porta johns here. Not that we would use them, because we got a big porta john right there. It's a little shady over here, you know, little darkish. I did have the awning light on, but since we're running on battery power, I've got the internet running. We have some lights inside. We do have that step light on. I've got the propane hot water tank on, and we are going to be running the fans. Of course, Heidi's got this light on. Actually, she had all the lights on.
I have this light on because you turned it on after you turned all the lights off.
Yeah. So this is our thing for the night. The bike rode just fine right where it's at.
Yeah,
So,
no problem.
no issues, so that's good. And we can pretty much use all the water we want tonight, because whatever we have left, I'll dump. We might have to use the bathroom on the way over. How far do we have yet?
Oh,
It's not very long. It's what, another hour? Might be an hour and 10 minutes, maybe?
Is it because we drove out of our way to get here?
No, we didn't drive out of the way.
Okay, well, it was only an hour and 44 minutes from the first place we started.
Oh,
an hour and 11 minutes.
yeah, an hour and 11 minutes.
Miles.
So yeah, that's pretty good. We We can
Oh
definitely.
yeah, we definitely didn't drive that far. It seemed
It's just flat and nothing, and we were tired.
60.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, it was boring.
Safe.
Right.
Well, our trip was safe.
Right.
What are you looking at?
The light in there. Why is the light on behind the TV?
Well, that's just a battery operated light.
I know, but still, I don't know why.
Something.
It
Battery's probably going dead.
No, it's probably the internet flashing light activating the motion detection of the battery light.
Could be.
So yeah, what did you think about the food?
That wasn't bad.
She didn't like the catfish. I told him that.
Yeah, it tastes a little like dirt.
Which I thought was awesome.
Honey, you would eat
Dirt.
if you had to.
Yeah, probably. So we're going to button it up for the night. We'll pick it up in the morning. So.
Well, good morning. It's like 6 o'clock or something like that. Almost 7. You can see how wet the truck is. It was okay last night, pretty cool. We just slept with the windows open. But yeah, very damp. But the guy that was right here, he pulled out already. Yeah, there's only like 3 or 4 of them here last night, maybe 5. But we're gonna get ready to get back on the road. We have a lot of time, so we can truly we can go real slow. So last night we had the fan on either 80% for half the night, 100% for the second half of the night. We did have the internet, of course, running the whole time. The water pump was on. Like I said, that little blue light's always on. It's on that refrigerator down there. And we had our phone chargers, of course, plugged in. And we're at 91%. So I know that a lot of people have questions about how our battery does. And if you go back and watch that video that we bought, that one big 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, it's been doing very well. Now, we were 100% fully charged, obviously, when we left the campground yesterday. But as we drove, we have those 290 watt solar panels on the roof, and it kept it charged. So this was at 100% whenever we went to bed last night. So basically 9%. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. And we did, of course, have lights on, and we did run water and stuff like that. But it does a good job. It does fine for overnight. Obviously we could go probably all day today if the sun was out, and then another night doing the same thing again. Well, we made it to Tampa. Lazy days. Everything is good so far. This is our site. The park is not packed, as you can see. Water pressure is great. Electric's great. Unfortunately, the sewer goes uphill a little bit. Seems to get an air pocket in it, but we'll deal with that when we need to. Everything set up easy, and we're just ready to enjoy the next 3 or 4 days. Got our awnings out right now. It is a little bit breezy. Seems like it's picking up a little bit. You can see the clouds are moving. There was a real dark cloud right here, but it's done moved on. Looked like it was going to storm. But anyway, Michael's coming out here. He's setting up all the cameras.
Yeah.
This is a pretty safe park.
Yeah, this is kind of worthless, just other than we might catch something as far as
Well, it might catch something funny.
weather-wise.
Yeah, we might be able to post it on YouTube.
Have everything blow away.
Yeah. So whenever you go camping, don't be the trash heap. There, if I walk around here, I can show you all the trash. You can see little bits of trash here.
paper there. Another paper here. And just little bits and pieces of trash. A spoon. There was a contact case. Yep, you can see it right there. So you're putting your contacts in outside. Whatever. They do pick up your trash. Which is nice. But
See the color rocks?
oh yeah, some kids painted some rocks. Supposed to take those and move them somewhere else. But I'll leave them here for the next kids. As Mike showed you yesterday in previous clip, we had this bike right here. It towed flawlessly. No, it didn't move. We didn't break anything. We didn't tear anything up. So I'm gonna take you outside and show you the bikes on the back.
Oh, those are solid. They don't need to see that.
Oh,
That crap's solid.
what else? I thought you told me I was.
No, this here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
So
because this was questionable. I didn't
Yeah.
know if this was going to work or not.
yeah, it never moved.
Yeah.
There's not even any tire marks on the floor, which I was waiting to see that.
Right. Yeah,
And
I was kinda
some of
surprised.
the bridges that we had drove over were a little bumpy.
Yeah, we went over Bo, Jeff, and Lloyd. Bridges. Oops,
What?
tough this thing out.
I'm gonna getting a bunch of stuff out.
So I gotta
Getting
get the
the-
computer so you guys can see this video.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta get the computer out. Which, again, lots and lots of storage.
Oh
I
yeah.
love- this Rockwood is, I mean, this storage here is, I've got so much camera gear in here.
Yeah, it's all camera gear.
And the thing is I could probably lose some of the stuff that's in here to make it a little bit cleaner. But
Why not?
We
Or
just got
why?
extra space. It's extra.
Stuff don't move around that way.
Yeah. And I did put, somebody asked about this. I just put this is actually roll bar
Yeah.
padding, but you can use a pool noodle. And that's so the TV don't move so much, especially when we're washing clothes. It just has a tendency to wiggle around, so that's what that's for. Well, we're still, Heidi says, the calm before the storm.
It's
But
very calm
it is very, very calm.
and quiet.
Very quiet. And we're still pretty amazed about how I mean, this park is pretty empty. I mean, there we go. There's some wind. We've had a few times that the gusts have really picked up, rocked the RV a little bit, but for the most part, this is a very calm time. Now, don't think that what you're seeing right over there is RV sites. That's the RV sales. That's their lot, their sales lot. But the park itself, there's just not a lot of people here. Now, we saw probably, how many RVs did you think we saw come in here?
It wasn't a whole lot.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking in here today?
Yeah.
Probably 10 or 12.
Oh, so a little bit more than that. Yeah, a few came in. I think it was closer to 8, but she thinks it's a little bit more than that. Now, we went and visited my aunt over at her house because she's only, how many miles was it? About 10 miles from here. And we haven't seen her since, 2017. Yeah, we haven't, wow, it's been a long time. Well, last time we tried to come and visit, it was during COVID, so. But her street, they have piles of, we went past a few streets that are just piled full.
Well, that stump that was in front, I should have took a picture of it. It was about yay big.
Right.
If you just looked at it, walking or driving by, it looked like it fell there. It didn't. It had to be in his backyard.
Right.
Because it was just the stump. They pulled it out of the ground, but they had fencing replaced and part of the roof.
Yeah, it's not that good.
But yeah,
Boy, it looks dark here. Let me see if I can do something about that. Hold on. Okay, I changed the
lighter?
setting. Yeah, it's much lighter.
Wasn't Hurricane Ian September 29th or something like that?
I don't know.
But I mean, that whole allotment there of
Yeah.
all those houses, every one of them have, well, almost every one of them have
piles.
branches and
Yeah, big trees.
trees.
But let me show you again what I just tried to show you when it was dark. So there's lots of sites. There's a group. I mean, there's a group of sites here. There's so many sites down here. There's another row of sites from basically over here all the way over to where you see that lit up RV. I don't get it. I mean, okay. Well, let me put it in perspective. This is why I'm saying this. Heidi and I came down here in 2017 with our 97 F-250 and our 1992 Terry camper. And we stayed here for how many days?
I think it was only
3 or 4 days.
I think it was just 2 or 3 days. Maybe it was 4 days, but
We had a site that was over by the pool,
every place we went was only like 2 nights.
but the sites
Oh,
that
yeah.
we were at were packed. I mean, every site. This was in the summer. Now, again, you guys got to remember, in Florida, it's the reverse of what you see elsewhere. So, like Myrtle Beach in the summer, everything's packed. Ohio in the summer, everything's packed. In Florida in the summer, not everything's packed because it's off season. Everybody
However-
usually goes somewhere else.
However,
Right.
people like us that lived in Ohio, we would come to Florida.
Oh yeah, right. But still, it was packed.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was.
so now we came down for the Tampa show with our 2020 travel trailer,
It was
and
packed.
we stayed here for a week. It was supposed to be a little longer, but we left early, and it was because it was packed. It was hectic, and it was packed. We still like the park, but it was packed. Okay, so now it's November. It's mid-November. This is when all the snowbirds are coming down, and guess what? It's not packed. Okay, we have one reason that we think that could be. They have a special if you want to be a seasonal down here or a long-term stay.
I think
Their special, wait till you hear this, it's not very good.
it was from November to April, I believe. It was $65 a night.
That is crazy. I would never pay $65 a night for a long-term stay. When you get into long-term stays at any of these parks like this, it needs to be less. Now, I'll have to say we just ate at the Exit 10 on-site restaurant. They have a bar in there. It's very clean. It's very nice looking. It's got a motorhome motif. It's like you're in a big motorhome. And the food that Heidi got was pretty good. She said she liked it.
Had a Philly steak. Michael had a chicken quesadilla. The menu is very small, probably from COVID, making it easier for them to order supplies and stuff. But it was very good.
I had my chicken quesadilla is the best chicken quesadilla I've ever had. I've never had a better one. The seasoning, it tasted smoked, and that's usually a pretty simple meal, but it was very well made. All right, that's the update. We're gonna go in. We got a little bit of rain coming down here. It's rained a few times and then it stopped. It's not bad though. We're fine, and we still have a couple more days of crazy weather. Now there's a chance we may not head back to Vero Beach right away. A very slim chance. It's a very small chance, but it just so happened that my cousin and her husband and their kids and my aunt, they had reservations to go camping themselves about 11 miles north of here. And if we would have known that, we would have attempted to try to go camping with them. But so we're like, right now they're not taking reservations because of the storm, and they don't even know if they're going to have openings if they do start reservations. So we'll give them a call tomorrow and maybe the next day and see what they say. But if not, we'll head back to Vero. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. I don't know. We got time. We got stuff we can do. I'll tell you what I'd like to do is hop in the Uber and go to the casino, because we're at Hard Rock Tampa territory here.
Well, let's see. It's only 6:16. We could go tonight.
I don't know about that. That may be a good idea. I'm getting off here before I get myself in trouble.
Just a real quick update here. It started to rain and the wind has picked up. But Hurricane Nicole has made landfall over at Vero, and we had seen some pictures of some flooding over on that coast. So we're just going to close this video out, and as always, we hope to see you out here. Bye.